Wait, have you started recording?
Oh
Did you
yeah,
start?
no, we've started.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Bangers, Bops, and Banter. This is episode 53.
Woo.
Wow.
Yay.
I can't wait till episode
Um,
69. I'm sorry. Like, it's so exciting. It's so
oh
close.
fuck, we already did 69 love songs. God damn it.
Ah, fuck.
Should just cancel it.
It's canceled. We're canceling the podcast.
You can only do 68 episodes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm one of your hosts, Joe. I'm here with co-host Brendan.
Hi, I'm the co-host, Brendan.
Wow. Incredible. And we have a guest this week.
Hi, I'm Em.
Hi, Em.
I'm here.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure having you the numerous times you've been on the podcast.
Yeah, I've been on so many times.
Yeah.
It's like I live here, you know.
One of our most frequent guests up there with the one, the only Jason. I think Jason might be our most frequent guest. Honestly.
Jason definitely is our
It's either
most...
Jason or Kobe.
Well, actually, I'm not sure because Jason wasn't on during like the semester,
That's true.
so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, we got a cool show coming up.
Yay.
Probably.
Ew. Crazy.
First we have some music and movie news that we'll go over. Then we'll be talking about the question of the week, which is, what is the best horror film of all time? We'll see.
We are all very
Well,
different people in that category.
Very different opinions.
Then we'll be talking about the album of the week, Sour by Olivia Rodrigo.
Woo!
And then we'll be discussing the film It, the 2017 one. I should have watched like the 1991 and then just like gone on and acted like I watched the same movie.
You're like the part with the giant spider, yeah. And we're like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
There was one time
you know,
Joe listened to the wrong album. That was a good week.
It was so good.
Oh, I love that.
They had the same name. It's just one was Doctor like Dr. and the other was like
Was the
Doctor
actual
like
word.
the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
That'll
really
do it.
confused why our guest chose that until I realized I listened to the wrong album.
I post the albums in chat every week.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It just slipped my mind. I don't know. It didn't even like have the same name or anything. It was like completely different. I was just a dumbass.
It happens.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I guess we'll get right into the news. First in music news, I had to put this here because it's I mean I had to.
Yeah.
But Foo Fighters had one of the first like concerts this week, like actual in-person concerts. And Dave Chappelle came out on stage at one point.
No way.
And he performed Creep.
That's
No
so good.
way.
That's so good.
Yeah. He performed Creep. That's the news.
That's it. That Creep.
Yeah. Next, in some fun music news, a family suing Live Nation over their teen's fatal drug overdose has moved to end their case. People are just assuming they reached a settlement of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I found this interesting because I didn't think that you could like sue the venue.
Yeah.
Or the concert provider for something like this. So I don't know. I guess I don't know the details of the case, but
I also
yeah.
don't. That does seem weird, but I mean, if they got something for it, then all the power to them, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Next, in less depressing music news.
Oh, good.
Rockefeller Records is suing Damon Dash over an NFT of Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt.
A lot of lawsuits today.
Yeah. Uh, they say that he can't sell the LP as an NFT because it's their they have copyright over it.
That
So
is true.
Okay.
yeah,
I mean,
I
that's
did. You know, uh, I'm okay with it.
yeah. Less NFTs is a good thing.
Yeah. Next in music news, Logic
Yes, he's
is back.
back.
He's out
He's
of retirement
back.
after like less than a year.
Yep.
So
It was so what? No Pressure was like it's like September, October last year.
I think so. When did this come out? July 24th.
Oh, July. Okay,
Last year.
it was earlier than
So
that.
less than a year, and he's unretired.
He's unretired. I mean, he also had that project
Um,
back in like January that wasn't really his, but definitely was his.
he was. I'm pretty sure he was just producing for that.
It was his voice just pitch shifted down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, actually,
Yeah.
I need to listen to this now. Like, I really need to listen to this. All right. And lastly, in music news, it's more Foo Fighters related news because they're releasing a disco album,
Let's go.
and I'm kind of pumped. It's uh they have and it's their alternate ego, I guess, called the DGs,
Oh no.
and half of the album are Bee Gees cover songs, and the other half are disco versions of their own songs.
That's gonna be really fun.
So it's gonna be. I'm excited. So yeah,
Didn't know Dave Grohl was a Bee Gees fan, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them.
And then we have one bit of movie news that, like, how could I resist? Zack Snyder says Batman giving oral sex to Catwoman is canon.
Yes.
That's right.
Let's go.
That's what I want to hear.
Let's go.
I want to say something. I don't like Zack Snyder's movies, so I wasn't really like a big fan of him. But now, thank you, dude. I respect you.
Incredible. He's a genius, undoubtedly.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't you deny it?
I mean, he did say that Batman eating Catwoman was supposed to be canon. So.
Yeah.
As he should.
Yeah.
Now, if you put that in one of his movies,
let's go.
I might actually see one.
Well, you don't want to watch the Snyder cut of Justice League?
No, I've actively avoided it.
It's actually pretty entertaining. Like, despite being 4 hours, it doesn't like drag or anything. Actually, it's genuinely really.
I just
fun.
don't want to see 4 hours of CGI Superman's face. Like, I don't need that.
It's not there.
No, there isn't actually. It's only like.
All right, that's true.
It's there in like small parts. Just
the knowledge that it's gonna be there is too much to sit with for 4 hours.
All right. That's it for news.
Hooray.
So, we got a question of the week. What's the best horror movie of all time?
All right.
What is it? Tell me. I need to know. Please.
Emma, I think you should go first.
Should I read it or should I say mine?
You say... Yeah.
Well, mine happens to be the movie that we're discussing this week, which is It, the 2017 version. Yeah. That's just my favorite. I don't know if it's the best, but it's my favorite, so that's what I said.
I mean, it's a well-respected recent horror film, I'd say.
You don't like it, but whatever.
I don't like it, but I understand. I am not of the general audience that this film is really for, so.
No, you're not.
What?
I need to stop looking at the other Discord chat. I saw the Sonic pictures. Okay.
Wait, now I need to see the Sonic pictures. Oh, no.
Yeah.
What did other people say?
It's 2017.
We got It 2017.
Cool.
Interesting choice. I can't say it's my choice, but it's an interesting one. I don't know. There's like a bunch that could go here for me, but I'd say Eraserhead for me
Really?
is my favorite. I love Eraserhead so much.
I get that. I don't know.
I have
like
never seen that
Eraserhead,
movie.
yes. I feel like Eraserhead isn't really like horror.
It's a horror
though.
movie.
It is.
It's horror. It's definitely horror. It's experimental,
It's very.
but it's horror.
See, like I
I've
feel
never
like
seen it.
I don't know.
Oh
Also, I
man,
would have guessed The Lighthouse for you, but
I like The Lighthouse is very close second.
uh-huh.
I do really love The Lighthouse. But showing people Eraserhead for the first time is a
rush.
joy.
It's a rush.
It's amazing.
Oh.
Oh my god. Especially when they know literally nothing about it. It's incredible.
Oh yeah. No. That's really the best part. It's the fear of the unknown, really.
It also has like literally like the best practical effects I've ever seen in a film.
Mm-hmm.
It's oh man, it's kind of insane. Also, The Shining. I know someone has already mentioned that in the question of the week chat.
Jason's pick.
Yeah, it's like a close third for me. I don't know, The Shining is like it's unsettling in a way that I don't think. Well, I mean, it's a Kubrick film, so
yeah.
of course it is. But it's unsettling in a way that not many other horror films, I think, can really match. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. For me, like I said, like I guess it's Eraserhead. I don't really consider Eraserhead like horror though.
It's not. Well, it's horror.
Yeah,
it falls into the genre,
I guess. But the movie I would pick that I think kind of fits more would probably be Perfect Blue, which is definitely like we talked about Perfect Blue on the podcast, but I do really enjoy that film. I think the horror elements in that movie are like far more in your face and are very entertaining. And I'm really not a big horror guy, so Perfect Blue did it good.
Yeah.
Satoshi Kon makes good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some other responses. We have The Shining, as Jason said.
Yep.
We also got Evil Dead 2, which is a great choice.
It's not really a horror film, but
it's a horror film. It plays to all the elements of horror.
But it's not. I guess it's not trying to be scary. Is the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but that isn't like required for a horror film.
I guess
exactly.
Horror simply uses certain tropes within the genre. And Evil Dead definitely does that and is hilarious.
That is true.
Brendan, you said What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh yeah, which also isn't really a horror film. It's a comedy, but
yeah,
or it's a documentary, really.
It is. It all happened.
It's all real.
Oh, I also want to mention Come and See, horrifying film.
Not a horror film, but
it's horrifying.
It's horrifying, yes.
What else? We have Mike and Jason yelling at each other, calling each other's dorks.
Requiem for a Dream, which
I
don't know. Also, doesn't feel like a horror film to me, but it's definitely psychological, and I need to watch it.
Yeah. We also have Hereditary from Jonah.
Hereditary is fantastic.
Yeah.
I really need to see it.
Yeah. I'm also surprised that we didn't see Midsummer, but I guess we didn't have that.
Those are both fantastic movies.
Also need to see
we also have, or I guess lastly, we also have Suspiria 2018 or The Babadook. You can check out our episode of the podcast where we talk about Suspiria if you want to.
We have not talked about
I really love it.
Babadook is very good as well.
Spirit 2018.
Mm.
Interesting film. Not really my thing,
I
but
I really loved it.
He
Great
held up
film.
he held up his thumb. He did a thumbs up
Would
for those at home.
recommend.
as far as
You know,
as far as horror with me goes, it was entertaining.
yeah, some impressing contortionist work in the film.
Yeah.
It's real nice. Yeah. Well, I guess that wraps it up for the question of the week.
What's the question for next week, Joseph?
Next week is the question. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone so I don't mess it up. The question for next week is, what is a movie or album that has problematic elements or ideas that you love anyway? So.
Guilty pleasures.
Yeah, sort of. But more like something that you love despite having some shitty ideas, basically.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I'll have to think on that.
We were talking about earlier, and we just talked about this last week. We had a whole episode. Silence of the Lambs has some not great elements in the way it portrays trans people, but still a great piece of media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the question for next week. And I guess we'll move on to the album. Well.
Wow.
Em, do you want to introduce the album?
The album is, yes, I did pick it. The album, the reason I picked it is because I've been listening to it nonstop since it came out, is Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. It's great. I like it a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I say anything else? I don't know.
You can say as much as you want to say.
I have a lot to say. I just think this album's fantastic. I think it's addicting. I don't really listen to a lot of full albums. I kind of just pick and choose songs and skip around. But I've listened to this full album more times than I can count.
Interesting.
Yeah. This I guess I find this album to be very interesting because I feel like it has a lot of personality to it in a way that I wouldn't expect from someone who is literally a Disney Channel star.
Mm-hmm.
And this being their first album. It's very bitter. Very bitter.
It is.
And I really like that about it.
I do too.
I think it just makes it so much more interesting to listen to. Just because of how angry she is.
I know
about the situation. And it's not. I mean, it's not like the most bitter thing I've ever listened to. It's not a Dillinger Escape Plan album. But yeah, it definitely makes it a lot more interesting to listen to than I had expected. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, there's definitely points where the writing, I think Olivia kind of shines through in some places. There are those points, especially, I don't know, I like Driver's License and Deja Vu. I definitely I think the bitterness on those types of tracks definitely gets to you. But there's also other times where she's definitely a kid, I feel, in her writing. And that kind of...
It's definitely... what's the word for it?
I'm pointing a gun at him.
Oh, jeez. It's... I guess immature is the word, or not...
But that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I definitely like how immature it is, and it's... How do I describe it? It's... I guess it feels more rough because it's definitely her writing these songs. And there are times where the writing it does fall more into cliche and stuff like that. But despite that, I think this album kind of gets away with it, and part of that is just because she's 18.
She's 17.
Yeah, she's freshly 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't I'm not expecting her to like be a masterful writer
Yeah,
at
no.
this age.
And these
Um,
songs are also older too. Like she wrote them like either months or up to like a year or so ago. So she's even
Yeah.
younger.
No, yeah. Like I totally get that she is young and understandable. It's just I don't know. I personally find it hard to like connect with a lot of the stuff here.
Well, you're not a hormonal
I'm not a 17-year-old
young
girl
woman.
freshly
Yeah,
broken up. That is true.
yeah.
It makes it difficult to relate to.
It might be different. I don't want to sound like, but it might be different for female identifying people, than male identifying people or otherwise. Just because I don't know, a lot of those emotions are very just the way she put it through like a feminine point of view. Just felt it hit. You know, it hit home a little bit. I've definitely listened to this album at 1 a.m. and cried. You know, it's just that kind of album.
It's interesting because I don't think anything about this album like screams specifically feminine to me. Like it's definitely just a breakup album, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think too, like I mean, just from what I've seen, like the reception, I've just seen a lot of like girls around that age being like, "Yep, that's it. That's how it is." So
Sure,
that's just my experience.
No, I'd say it definitely has sort of I guess like a feminine like edge to it.
I think it's mostly just because Olivia's
she's
the one doing it.
Well, it comes off catty, I guess.
Okay, I can see that.
Like it's mainly because she's not only going after her ex, but also the girl that he's with now.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say she's going after her. I would say she's bringing her up, but she's not.
She goes after her on some of these songs.
I'm gonna disagree.
I think
Which is
Deja Vu is a track where that happens.
Yeah, Deja Vu kind of goes after her.
She never insults her, is the thing.
No, but she's like
it's more just the concept of her, not her actual like.
She kind of she does she looks down on this girl for now going out with her ex.
Yeah. Maybe we're kind of biased. Brendan, you've watched the Todd in the Shadows video, I assume.
I have not actually.
You haven't? Okay. So, do you know the context behind the record?
I do.
You do? Okay, yeah.
I do.
So, basically...
This is all alleged, by the way, though.
Yeah, it's alleged. People have speculated on this, but the guy on the record was one of her co-stars on the show she was on.
Yeah, Joshua Bassett.
Yeah, and the girl is her co-star on that show.
So, no, it was a different. I don't believe she was on the show, but she's another Disney star.
I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess I am, I think. She was definitely on another Disney show. I don't know, they all blend together, so.
I know. I feel like it's been so many years since I knew what was happening with Disney shows.
But yeah, and the girl on the song was also like one of her best friends. At least I'm guessing that from the context of the record. There were also
I didn't hear that. That's fucked up.
There was also what was it? Shoot, it completely slipped my mind. Shoot, I completely forgot what I was gonna say. You guys can talk. I actually forgot what I was gonna do.
So how was your day? No, but yeah, there's definitely like I think she kind of just didn't. I just like that she embraces all of these like uncomfortable emotions that we kind of just like pretend aren't there, like jealousy and like rage and kind of grief over like relationships, because those are usually kind of frowned upon and not really explored as much as like just sadness or like. But she was like, no, like fuck this guy, and like I hate the way I'm feeling right now, and it's uncomfortable, so I'm gonna like make something out of it. So I just appreciated that.
Yeah. I believe the thing I was gonna say, I remembered it now, was
Yeah.
basically both the guy and the girl, the other two people she talks about, released like
Yeah.
singles in response, like in
I know the
response to it,
girl
quote,
did.
unquote.
I've listened to it, and she like
Yeah.
addresses driver's license directly, and I was like,
Yeah.
girl, mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people say that she's like an industry plant, but like, who gives a fuck?
Industry plant is like a meaningless term, anyways. Yeah, yes, industry plant. That doesn't mean that your music is bad, though. Like, that has no bearing on the actual your quality as an artist.
Yeah. People were just kind of like saying like this was like set up, quote unquote,
Oh yeah.
or like Disney sort of like orchestrated this to some extent, or something like that.
But whatever it is, it's a bop. So
that is true. So yeah,
I don't know. I mean, if they did, good job, Disney, because this album is incredibly popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even want to know how many times I've played it. It's a problem.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What's up?
Time to check in Billboard.
I'm
guessing it's number one.
It was for a while.
Is it? No. It was. No, it wasn't. It hasn't been for a little while, I guess.
Yeah. I'm saying
it was at some point.
It definitely was.
Yeah,
at some point.
I think
it was when it debuted, and now it's kind of just been sitting at number 2.
Floating.
But yeah, it's an incredibly popular record.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has 60 million monthly listeners on Spotify. So
yeah, Driver's License,
and it's a shorter album too.
Plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only. I mean, it's definitely worth a listen. It's only like 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's also I appreciate. Like we've been talking about the bitterness and the rawness. I appreciate how it's not like saccharine and overproduced like a lot of I think albums like this would be, especially coming from Olivia's background. So that's good job.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variety on here too. Like the opening track is like a garage rock song,
it's
almost.
Punkier. Yeah.
Then you also have like the Deja Vu. It's like what happens at the very opening. The like revving sound that happens is really great.
Really great.
And yeah, there's just a ton of variety on here. From like stuff like Driver's License, which is a very slow. I guess it's a ballad, sort of.
It's definitely ballad. I mean, the bridge on Driver's License is just like so good. I love that bridge.
I know.
Yeah.
I will say that some of the piano, like the softer piano ones, like Favorite Crime and Enough for You kind of blend together a little bit for me sometimes because they just are a little bit similar in like structure. But other than that, I feel like everything's pretty like clear cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think for me personally, the second half is weaker, and it tends to blend together more. You have some standouts. I think like the kind of indie poppier instrumentation on Jealousy's chorus is like a standout, but I don't know. You just kind of tune out a couple of those tracks.
Jealousy sort of reminds me of Imagine Dragons.
Does it now?
It's just the way that, I feel.
The Imagine Dragons? No.
Imagine Dragons would be way louder.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, in terms of production, yes.
Yes.
But just like the like way it's structured reminds me of Imagine Dragons.
I get that.
Not in a bad way, I should say. I actually quite enjoy the track. I feel like I probably shouldn't compare stuff to Imagine Dragons.
Just ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you,
I
Imagine
guess I feel
Dragons.
what?
I'm just
Thank
thanking
you,
Imagine
Imagine
Dragons
Dragons,
for being Imagine
for
Dragons,
existing.
one of a kind,
They're
really.
incredible. Exactly.
What would
Um,
we do without them?
I don't know. Um, I will say the closer I'm not huge on. Like I think
It's not at the top of my list for this album.
yeah, it's I feel like I would have rather had like a thematic closer than
Kind of
um
like
this track.
drifting into
Just
the wind.
yeah, right.
Goodbye.
This track is I mean, Hope You're Okay is just like I hope people are okay, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's like it's definitely like a nice sentiment to have on your record, but considering how focused the rest of the album is, I would have preferred something um more thematically like more of like a what's the word for it? Um, more thematically like
Tied in.
more closure
Yeah.
or um like a track just like about her like mental state now or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's kind of not, doesn't fit the rest of the theme.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially with how Brutal kind of starts it out on the note where she is really just not doing okay. Um, but yeah, the closer never we never really get a sense of uh
Are
improvement,
you
I
okay
guess.
now?
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't really have anything else I want to
I
say.
just think it's neat.
All right. Feel free to say as much as you want, or if you want to wrap up, give some scores to it. You can do that.
Let me think for a sec. I mean, that's about it. I know I felt a lot of of it hitting close to home, so I think that's why I like it so much. But yeah.
All right, cool. I'll go first. This album, I'm not the biggest fan. There are a couple tracks I do like, but for the most part, it doesn't really pop out to me. There are definitely aspects of it that I appreciate, like the rawness of the instrumentation, and Olivia's personality in her writing. But there's also a lot of drawbacks that come with that. Overall, I'm at like a 6 out of 10 on this album.
All right. I think this is a pretty solid debut record from her. I'm very interested to see where she goes in the future. Um, because she's definitely got my attention just from uh mostly the lyrics on this record and how focused most of it is. But I really enjoy it. I think it's a really entertaining record. It has some pretty interesting themes. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. If you enjoy this, you should check out some Dillinger Escape Plan. Perfect. Perfectly matches. All right.
Oh yeah, go ahead,
Do I
Em.
go
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Okay. I really enjoy this album. I think it's addicting. I love listening to it when I'm just whenever. I really find like any occasion. I just am always down for this album. I feel like it's relatable. I feel like it's fun and sad and angry and all these emotions. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Good job.
And what?
Hey, good job. Good job,
Nice.
everybody. We did
Good
it.
job! Yay, we did it.
All right. And with that,
Golf clap.
we can move on to the movie. And would you like to introduce the movie for this
I would
week?
love to introduce one of my favorite movies of all time, the 2017 remake.
Wee woo, wee woo. Spoiler alert. Wee woo, wee woo.
Well,
Not
go on.
the 1991? Not the
Nope.
1991? Come on.
The 2017 remake.
Well, go on then. Introduce.
Okay, should I say what it's about and stuff?
Go.
Yeah,
go
spoilers
right
for it 2017.
It's okay.
I don't know.
Alright,
I'll throw
so
to Jason
it-
wee woo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it is pretty popular as a concept, but if you don't know, it follows a group of kids who live in a small town in Maine, and there's some strange stuff going on. Kids are disappearing, and they suspect that there is some sort of monster doing it, so they kind of band together and try to figure out what is doing this to their town.
It's just a little clown. He's just trying to have some fun.
It's
Little
a
clown
clown!
boy.
Spoilers, it's a clown!
It's not
Little clown boy.
Like I feel like everybody
It's
knows
not a
it's a
spoiler.
clown.
Yeah, no, it's a clown. Yeah. He's a clown and he eats children and
Nom nom nom.
he
Yum yum.
sucks.
He's pretty cool.
I don't know. Pennywise is kind of cute.
Yeah.
Looking like a snack.
Ooh. Ooh, okay.
Like you're looking like a snack.
Ooh.
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 What is happening right now?
Man.
Yeah.
What do you think
What?
of this movie?
I adore this movie. I saw this movie in theaters when it came out with my friends, and at the time I was just starting to get into horror. I was still a little unsure of myself. And I saw this movie in IMAX at like 10 at night, and I was just like mind blown. And Brendan's looking at me like, "Are you fucking crazy?"
No.
Because he does not agree with me at all.
It's fine.
But
I don't like.
I love this movie. I think it's fantastic. I think the acting is fantastic. I think because that's the thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, well, it's not as scary as it's." I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the fact that the story about these kids and their performance and all of that. That's what it is to me, and that's what it is at its core. It's a story about friendship, as like cliche as it sounds. It's about these kids. And that's what sticks with me, and not like the jump scares or anything. That's not what it's about.
I guess to start, this is more of a conventional horror movie, I'd say. And it's not my type of horror. I like really psychological stuff. Oh God, I have a gun to my head.
No, I'm kidding.
It's interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
That's fair.
We're gonna have so many puns.
So many.
But yeah, I feel like. I mean, I didn't find it scary. I have to say there are some moments that were funny to me, but that's probably more of the
dance. What he does, the fucking
dance is really funny.
No, Brendan and I watched it together, and I said, "Okay, there's a part coming up, and I know it's not scary. We all know it's not scary. So I just need you to bear with me here."
Oh, the dance is so funny.
It's really good. It's the thing is, like, most of the things I found funny were not like the movie's fault. It's just because I thought of other things that it reminded me of. Oh man, when you see Georgie like running, not when he's like following the boat. Actually, when he hits his head, that's really funny. But
that is really funny.
When he's like running around in like the what's his name? Is his name Bill?
Yeah.
Bill.
His brother?
This is his brother?
Yeah. When he's running around in Bill's house, I thought of a Germa bit and I couldn't stop laughing. So it's a really funny Germa bit, and it's really good. But that's not the movie's fault.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I definitely personally don't find it very scary. I think part of that is some of the CGI just doesn't age. I don't know if aging is the right word because it came out in 2017. Like to me, there's some stuff that doesn't look real, and that like takes me out of the film at certain points.
That's fair.
I feel like I guess one of my problems with it is a lot of the time the camera work or editing sort of emphasizes problems that could be like fixed with like the CGI if it was shot differently. There's a lot of times I find where the camera like locks on to like Pennywise or something. It does like the auto stabilize or something like this when he like comes right at the screen. And that it was like very jarring in a way that kind of like took me out of the film personally.
I definitely think there's a couple times where that happens. Specifically for me in the scene where they're like looking at the projector and Pennywise like comes out of the projection. It's just
He was
like
such a big boy.
He's just a big boy. It's just like so
big.
Weird, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like that.
Imagine that in IMAX though, at 10 at night.
I would have laughed so hard. You don't know.
I screamed. First time I saw
it. He was really big, and it was really big.
He was really big.
Oh, please. Okay. Just if you don't take me to watch a horror movie in theaters, because I will just laugh the entire time. Like
I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna.
We saw The Lighthouse, and I know he had to like stifle his laughter
at the end. Oh my god, that's so funny. Sorry.
Wait, is it the very end?
The very end with like the
just before.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I can understand that. It is kind of funny.
And they had the daughter's music going on too. Oh my god, it was so fun.
Lighthouse, incredible film. Would highly recommend.
Yes.
But what were we talking about? The big boy Pennywise?
Big Pennywise.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I just like...
It's definitely. There's a lot of moments that are very fun to me. Like this is. I wish it played more into like the camp of it.
Yeah.
Like the bullies who get killed, or the bully who gets killed by Pennywise, like that is like really fun. I definitely wish it leaned more into the camp and like the fun, like costumes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The 1990 absolutely does that.
Yeah, I mean it also has other problems, but like I feel like I would love this film if it was like a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
If it was like Evil Dead. I want it to be Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, but with clowns.
Oh my god, that
would actually be pretty fun.
That would be. I would be down for that. What is it? Wait, did I? No. I was waiting for like an Evil Dead reference or something. I feel like there had to have been one at some point.
I didn't notice any.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen that movie.
Evil Dead 2, incredible, amazing film. Would highly recommend. But yeah. I feel like, I mean, well, I guess I want to say the real villains of the movie are not Pennywise, but the adults who are terrifying.
That's kind of the whole point of it too. In a weird
yeah, way. Definitely. It's very much. I do really like that. It's basically like you're always you have the perspective of the kids, and it never shifts to anyone else's. I also love that parents just like they don't see anything. Like
it's like Santa.
You gotta see it you gotta believe. You gotta believe.
You gotta believe.
Yeah.
That's cool. I do. Like it's a very children-focused movie. And Em mentioned earlier that the acting for children, I would say, is solid.
Yeah, the performances are generally very good, I'd say.
Yeah.
We're being held at gunpoint. We have to say the performances are masterpieces. They're incredible, impeccable.
I mean, I've seen like impeccable children performances, and these aren't it. But like, they're pretty good.
They are pretty good. I think they're great.
Yeah, I definitely think some of the cast are better than others. I have to look up the cast.
There's
I know them all by
Bill,
heart.
Beverly, Ben, Richie.
Okay.
Stan.
Well, I think Bill does a really great job.
You're so
Mike,
close.
and also-
2 more. Yep. If you forget my favorite, I'm gonna kill you.
Eddie.
Pennywise.
Eddie, yes.
I think Beverly does a fantastic job.
Oh, Sophia Lillis, who plays Beverly, she's amazing.
Yeah. And then there's also what is it? I just completely forgot what I was gonna say. It's
Alright,
gone. I don't know. It's gone.
Okay, alright.
Yeah. Moving on, little different point, I guess.
Oh no.
My
Oh,
take
no.
on the movie. Like I said earlier, I don't really find horror movies scary. This was no exception. I laughed plenty during the film. I don't even feel like they could have tried to make Pennywise a bit scary, because the thing about Pennywise is that he lets them go like just multiple times. Like he just like gives them a little spook and then just leaves and
That's
fucks
very true.
off. It's like, all right, so I don't know.
I think it's
It just
'cause,
feels
like,
weird.
I think it's because he's supposed to be like scaring them because they taste better when they're afraid or something.
Yeah,
But
they
here's
progress
the thing
to be
about-
more scared at the beginning, and they progress to be
Yeah.
less scared over time.
But that's its biggest flaw, I believe, is that it gets cocky.
Mm.
Which I don't think really comes across in the
Yeah.
movie, but
Yeah.
that's kind of, it gets cocky.
Yeah.
Why do the children float after he kills them?
Oh, that was in the original.
He's
They
an
just
alien.
added that.
He's an
Okay.
alien.
He is an alien. He is an
Yeah.
alien.
You know,
They didn't
Why
get
not?
into that, but
he has. I
it
mean,
is an
like
alien.
he has like 500 teeth. Like, you're gonna argue with that?
How does he make them float?
I don't know. The deadlights.
You know,
When you see the deadlights, you were never
Yeah.
the same.
he also made blood, like shoot out of a sink. So I don't.
That was hilarious. I love that scene.
I actually really love that scene.
And
I think
then
there's a
you get
lot
That
of
the
very-
scene-
montage.
Was
Oh.
so great. No, I
Yeah.
want to talk about the blood scene for a second because, so I had already seen the 1990, about half of the 1990. I didn't see the end, so I didn't know what was coming for me. But that scene with Beverly in the sink was one of my favorites because I just thought it was so cool, and I was really excited to see how they were going to handle it in this one, and I was not disappointed. I was like, oh my god. Because in the 1990 version, it's just kind of like, it's like a balloon just kind of starts filling up, and then it pops, and it's blood. So it's not that much, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't really, it gets a little bit on her, but it's in the sink. That's about it. This was insanity.
Yeah, it's very it just reminds me a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street, which has one of like my favorite death scenes in a film or in a horror film. Where I'm pretty sure it's Johnny Depp, but he gets like pulled.
Johnny
into a
Depp's
bed.
in Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He gets like. Actually, do I want to spoil it? I don't know.
Do
I
the
mean,
wheel.
how old is Nightmare on Elm Street at this point? It's been a hot minute.
Well, it's basically, he's like in bed and he gets like pulled into the bed, and then
that's
a
cool.
geyser of blood like erupts from it. It's
I have to
amazing.
see that movie. I call myself a horror fan, and I haven't seen like anything.
Should show you Freddy vs. Jason, best horror film.
It's a
That horror movie is so
classic.
good. Oh my
yeah.
god. I love it so much. It's incredible.
It absolutely is incredible.
When he folds the dude in half, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered what I was gonna say earlier. The one
wow.
thing about it being from the point of view of kids is that kids are fucking annoying.
They're so funny though, these kids.
Finn Wolfhard's character, I
Richie?
really don't enjoy.
You
Yeah,
don't enjoy Richie?
he's very annoying. He reminds me of like
Joe.
you know when you first learned about swear words and then you just started saying them, but you didn't know how to use swear words.
That's why it's so funny, because it's like, I remember being like this when I was 13. It's realistic in a way.
That's true. I just find it annoying.
Yeah, but you don't want to hang around that kid, you know?
Oh man, I love them. I love them all.
But yeah, I do think a lot of like the scare or spooky scenes. I do enjoy kind of like what's the event with like the spectacle of.
Yeah.
They're really entertaining to watch, but I do think they happen too much. Like this movie, it never put me on edge, ever. Because I just knew, like, when scary thing was about to happen.
Yeah.
Basically, there was there's not like a building of tension. And if you're okay with that, then I'm sure you'll really enjoy this film. But like, it doesn't like. I don't feel like I'm about to have a panic attack while I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Basically, just because of how often they happen. I would have rather had a couple less of the spooks and had them be more like intense and have more of a spectacle to them.
And one thing that does piss me off about this movie, if I can interject, is the sound design in some of the scary scenes. Because it's so distracting and it's so annoying, and you don't really know what's supposed to be in the movie and what's supposed to not be in the movie. Like the scene with the painting lady, I love it, but the previous scene was, I believe it was Mike and his scare, and the score was so obnoxious for that scene that you can't tell that the painting lady is playing the flute, which I think is really like unnerving. Exactly. So it's unnerving because Stan just hears like this flute from behind him, and then she drops it and suddenly like appears. But since the score was so strong in the scene beforehand, you don't really get that, which I think is a shame.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's very predictable too with how it does the scenes. Like suddenly the music stops and you're like, okay, I'm
here we go.
Yeah, I can't say this movie ever like surprised me.
Yeah. Well, actually, the dance surprised me.
Okay,
that was
the
entertaining.
Yes.
The dance surprised all of us. None of us were expecting that.
But yeah, it definitely feels formulaic in that sense. And I think it's like it's emulating other films. Like like if I compared the like scare scenes in this film to like the scare scenes in something like Alien, it's like Alien like actually terrifies me.
And there's so much
just
more
because of how
in that film.
Yeah, it's just because of how like intense the tension, or how well the tension is built in something like Alien, is also partially due to the length of those scenes. Because a lot of them, the one that like got me, I remember, went on for like 5 or 6 minutes of just building tension because you know something bad is about to happen. And just like that anticipation of like when is everything going to go wrong, is really great. Whereas it's just like I know exactly when everything's gonna happen, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say the one scene where Beverly fights back against her dad, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, cool, and then you turn around and Pennywise is right there.
yeah, that caught me off guard. It's yeah, I don't know.
It's also
I do.
sorry.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead.
you go. No, you go.
I
I'm sort of pulling us off to a different topic.
No, I just
so
want to go off just because of the lack of tension in this film. I never feel like the kids are really in that much danger, you know?
yeah,
Like in Alien, fucking
people die really quick in
yeah,
Alien.
exactly, and it's gruesome.
Yeah.
And it's like at any point, the next bad thing could happen. But like here, it just feels like there's a lot of downtime, I guess, in between the bads, the spooks, and it just
I disagree. I think they're too frequent.
well, okay. What I'm trying,
Like,
I guess.
are you saying in between like people dying?
Well, we only
Or-
see like 2 people die even.
Do we?
Cause so Pennywise he kills
There's Georgie. There's
Georgie at
the
the
bully.
beginning. He kills the bully, and the bully kills his father.
And the bully is killed.
Yeah. He just falls. He falls down a well. It's not even that exciting. Is he not dead?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh my god.
He's not dead.
Not dead. Yeah.
Yeah, I do wish. I do sort of
Pretty
wish
light,
that like
honestly.
pretty light.
Pretty light in the
what
kill
the
count.
bully?
No, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I do. I guess that's definitely like the advantage of something like Alien, where with it there's like a sequel that because it's part of the book, so there's all sorts of you have to all the kids have to survive to the sequel.
Yeah.
And that's I believe it's different in the book because it's like they're told simultaneously, both plot lines.
Yeah, they are. The opening of the book is them as adults and kind of how they react to the phone call of being told that they need to come back. But obviously that doesn't happen. It's just the flashback of them as kids.
Yeah.
In the movie,
I mean,
I
feel
prefer.
like I feel like it was a good choice to have them as kids, but you introduce the problem where I don't like. I'm not nervous really ever because I sort of know like, oh, these characters aren't gonna die. They're fine.
Yeah.
Whereas in like Alien again, like literally everyone dies except for Ripley and the cat.
Ridley. I kept on wanting to say Ridley, but I'm like, no, Ridley Scott's the director. All right.
But yeah. I do think the chemistry of the cast overall though is very good. I think I like the interactions with like the parent characters, and how they're all like assholes. Sort like a lot of them are kind of evil.
Yeah.
Most of them are really just like not understanding of their kids' problems, and that definitely works to the film's advantage because it's very relatable, I guess. To be like a kid and to like not feel like you're not being listened to, essentially. Yeah, I definitely think that aspect definitely works the best. I guess the only other thing, there are some scenes that feel very out of place to me.
Like all the scenes
The
with
one
the romance between
what?
Beverly and Bill. What? Sorry.
I don't want to mention it, especially since there is a. I don't want. You know what? I'm not gonna get into it.
No, get into it. Let's go.
I fucking hate that like romance thing. They didn't need that.
Yeah, The
All
romance.
right. I don't know if you want. I don't know if I should spoil for It Chapter 2.
I don't
Should
really
I?
care.
You can.
Okay. So basically, I don't know why they spent so much time on them because they don't end up together as adults. And there is not one but two other romances within the group that could have been focused on that they just kind of shoved a little bit to the side for Bill and Bev, who do not end up together. And literally the last scene is them kissing, and they do not end up together. And it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Not to be weirdly focused on the romance aspect, but it just pisses me off. It's
also weirdly there's a love triangle too, sort of.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Ben,
yeah. That the entire love triangle just feels weird. Ben sort of sexually assaults Beverly. It's okay. She woke up after.
Yeah, that's the most bullshit scene in the movie.
Yeah.
The most bullshit scene in the movie.
Yeah.
And spoilers, she does end up with Ben. At the end of chapter 2, they end up together. And they're happy and everything. And Bill is, I don't know, he goes back to his wife or whatever.
Look at this guy. He has a fucking wife.
He has a wife
What an
that
idiot.
gets done dirty.
Yeah. I think there's also there's like two scenes that feel like weirdly out of place. The swimming scene, like where they all go.
I love that scene. Get out of here.
It's mainly just the music. It's like
it's so beautiful
over
though.
The top.
It sounds to me like inspirational, like corporate music. So
I could not
really
disagree
harsh.
with you more. I absolutely love that. That part of the score actually is called Beverly, by who is the choreographer? I can't remember the name. The choreographer. Did I say choreographer? I'm stupid. Composer.
The choreographer went hard in this film.
Yeah. The choreography was that dance scene amazing.
No, I mean, well, like the fight scenes are bad in my opinion, but
yeah, I mean, I kind of get it because it's child actors.
Jumpy. Yeah.
So they can't really get it.
The one where they like throw rocks at the bullies was really awkward.
Oh, it's so funny.
It looks.
Benjamin Wallfish. Okay. I think I'm saying that right. He's the composer.
Sorry, Ben. No, you watched the show.
I'm sorry, I was so harsh on you, Ben.
I think the reason they do that is just, again, because the theme of it is not horror. The theme of it is the bond between the kids. So they need to show the kids bonding.
Yeah.
Or else.
Yeah, I get
rocks at people.
Yeah. It's just like the music, I feel like sometimes doesn't fit. The rock throwing scene especially, you have like a weird, like angsty punk song going. But that hasn't, like, nothing like that has been in the movie up until that point.
Yeah, I mean, the rock fight is not as well done as the 1990 version. The rock fight in the 1990 version is badass. There's like a line where like all of the like henchmen like run and they're like, oh, you should get out of here, to Henry Bowers, and he goes, or what? And Bill goes, the six of us can put you in the hospital. And then Mike just pipes up from the back, like you forget he's there, and he's like, 7. And you're like, yeah, it's a group now.
I will say the score is kind of like weird to me, because
the blood oath is so good though at the end.
I like the score a lot, but it sort of felt like a Spielberg film because of it. Like, that's what I was reminded of. Like, it felt like a John Williams score in a way.
Yeah.
And look, it's weird because I feel like simultaneously I really like the score and that aspect of it, but also I sort of wish it was different. It's hard to describe my feelings towards the score.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's fair.
It's
I feel the
definitely
same way with some tracks, and then some of them I'm like, yeah, like Blood Oath.
mm,
I love Blood Oath.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't really have anything else, I guess.
I mean, I've said a lot. I know you love this film. Tell us more about why
I
you
do
love
love
it.
this film. I don't know. I when this movie came out, I was a senior in high school, and I don't know. I just kind of those kids really reminded me of myself at that age.
Mm,
I was only a few years older than them at that point, and that's what really I just really bonded to those. I just latched onto those kids and their friendship, and the way they kind of deal with their problems just felt very like I said with Olivia and Sour. It kind of just hit close. So when something hits close, I latch onto it and I don't let go. And I feel
mm,
like a lot of it's very subtle and you kind of have to do some research into it, which sucks. But a lot of like these characters and like the things they're struggling with don't come across on screen as much as if you like rewatch it or if you like look into it. But like Stan has OCD and Eddie's mom has like Munchausen's and like projects onto him a lot. And
mm,
I think like Ben has like an eating disorder or something.
mm,
And obviously Beverly's an abuse survivor and like just stuff like that. Like all these kids just have like this like just like there's just so much depth with these characters
mm,
that I feel like only really scratches the surface, but it was enough to really like hook me in.
mm. All right. Are we getting to scores?
We can. I mean, you just kind
Yeah.
of gave your spiel, so
Oh,
go
should I
ahead.
score it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. I don't want to give it too high because I feel like y'all will judge me.
No.
So I'm gonna.
No, go
Can we
ahead.
do
We never
halves?
judge anyone.
Can we do halves?
You can do
Like
halves too.
half of a. All right. I know it's not perfect. If I'm going by like personal, like oh my god, this is one of my favorite movies, obviously. But I'll try to look at it from a more like critical standpoint. So I know it's not perfect, but it is
We
You
a
can do
very
personal
whatever.
feeling.
dear.
No, we're personal
Actually,
feeling all the way.
It's a very dear movie to me. So but I don't want to score it too high because I know it has flaws. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Yeah.
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 All right. Right.
Um,
Um, Brendan, do you want to go?
sure. I don't know. Horror movies like aren't my thing. I think it has some fun moments. It's not scary though, and as a horror film, it fails in my opinion. Um, I don't know. It's fun enough. The, it has its positives. There's definitely a lot of issues with it. But yeah, overall, I'm at like a 5.
Oh God. Personally, I enjoy certain aspects about the film. I definitely appreciate parts of it. I feel like since it's such a mainstream horror movie, I definitely can appreciate the creativity of a lot of elements within it. Um, the dance is real good. Good job on the dance. Um,
It's just that for
yeah,
that the whole score is based on the dance.
exactly. Um, I think there's some fun elements to the film. I do really like the chemistry between a lot of the kids. Um, and the sort of perspective of it only being viewed through the kid's point of view. Uh, I also do feel like it has a lot of flaws for me, um, especially with like certain sequences that are kind of out of place, um, and certain sort of like formulaic problems with the film. So overall, I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. Not, didn't really do it for me.
You guys are awful. No, I'm kidding.
I'm a psychological horror guy.
That's very
So,
fair. That's very
I
fair.
mean,
I just want to say, can I just say two quick things?
Say as
yeah.
much as you want.
First of all, the actor who plays Eddie made fun of me at a con once. I just want that on the record. And 2, Humans by Gorillas is a good album. And that's it. That's all I have to say.
No. We don't.
Over.
Okay, no.
Have a good night, everybody.
This is done.
Oh god.
Did you just end it?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
That's very much. That's something.
And
you
she
would
was
do.
never seen again.
That is something I would do. Yes, I didn't do it because we have a show to keep.
Yeah.
I don't know who makes it till the end, anyways. Like, if you're watching right now, please leave a comment. I need to know.
Comment bananas.
Yeah.
The word bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it. You won't. We dare you.
But for
so next week, the question of the week next week is going to be, what's a movie or album that has problematic? What's a movie or album that has problematic elements or ideas that you love anyway? Brendan, do you want to do movie and album? I can do those.
The album is going to be Joy as an Act of Resistance, Idol's 2018 album. And the movie is going to be Come and See, directed by
Elim Klimov.
Yeah, I hope that's how you pronounce it.
It's Elim Klimov. So, well, his name's Russian.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Russians.
Gonna be a fun week.
It's so much fun.
I love genocide. We've done a lot of films about genocide. So
we've done.
Actually, I've only done 2. From 2, I guess.
So we did 2 about the same genocide.
Yeah. War dogs genocided my brain.
All right. Good talk.
Yeah.
Good talk, everybody. Right. Genocide.
Wonderful.
Anything else you want to say, Em, before we sign off? Anything you want to plug?
I don't know. We just watched Luca. It was pretty fun.
Okay, cool.
Also, Brendan, you're cute.
Oh, okay. Well, that's it. The show's over.
You cutting that out?